Ultrafil. Hey everyone, and welcome back to Leeds United Side Before Self every time. And yeah, basically to start this off, wow, what a chuffing fail of the week, if you like. It's definitely going to be in there. It's one of the worst ones I've ever seen, and goalkeepers are fixed. But otherwise, I just want to say a massive thank you to FM Live, basically, for his video that he put on. If I remember, I'll link it in the description below. It's basically how to figure out how to sort your tactics out. I mentioned, I touched it on the last video, that how I was watching on the data analyst screen and looking where we're going wrong. I was watching full matches just to try and see what the tactic was like, and I'll tell you now, it's been absolutely awesome. Well, the tactic I've managed to create has been absolutely awesome, and it's largely thanks to him making me see sense and take the time to have a look at what were happening in the games. And I'm going to show you exactly now in the schedule why I am thanking him. So as you can see here, barring one real blip against Coventry when we had a weakened side, bear in mind it was like this sort of area where we started. We've not lost a game in the league. We've won quite a lot. We've drawn a couple, but the main thing is largely we're scoring goals, albeit Hull City says otherwise, as well as obviously the first leg, as it were, in the FA Cup. But yeah, you joined us last time for the Nottingham Forest game where we won 4-1. It was a great performance, and obviously you saw it yourselves, you know how good it was. Yeah, as I was mentioning, we went to Coventry and fielded a bit of a weakened side in terms of, we had EP5 playing, Hernandez had a rare start, Click were complaining about playing football, first team football, repaid us with the 6.3, top man. And yeah, we put in Pordy O'Connor as well, 7.5 rate from him, to be fair to him, and it was 0-0. We didn't really get troubled at all, and yeah, we had a replay to look forward to. But in between that, we had Ipswich Town, which we had a 2-2 draw, and we were unlucky here. We got a kick in the teeth last minute. Martin Waghorn, just after we got a late, what I thought was a winner. We were 1-0 down after 6 minutes thanks to a penalty, and Samuel Say is actually turning up and getting a goal. I said turning up, he still only got a 6.9. But Kamara Roof came on, changed the game somewhat, created quite a few chances, eventually scoring, and then obviously, like I said, Martin Waghorn breaking our hearts. Yeah, speaking of which, we had our hearts broken once again at Ellen Road, following a 1-0 loss to Coventry at home. They got a goal after 28 minutes, and we just couldn't seem to find the breakthrough. I mean, we had pretty much a full-strength side. Shagnasty being, well, we had probably third and fourth choice centre-backs, but even so, it was a good enough team to beat the likes of Coventry City, no disrespect to them, but it was largely disappointing. However, we then had a home game against rivals of Millwall, and we managed to spank them 5-2. A late sort of surge to get the win. Kamara Roof getting a brace in the first half before Pierre-Michel Lasogga getting a third, making it like 3-2 at the time, because Aidan Bryan decided he was going to get a brace as well, starting off in the first minute. In fact, first 19 seconds, if I remember rightly. Seabiscuit scored for us, and then Pablo Hernandez rounding it off to make it really comfortable, and it was largely pleasing to get back on track. However, we did play Hull. Obviously, when we played them last time, we were 17th and they were 3rd, and we have been flying, like I said. And it was a little bit disappointing we didn't get a win or nick a goal, but it was a very even game, and yeah, it was a good game, but it was even, and really probably draw was a fair result. And then we had a game against Cardiff, and yeah, we got a little bit lucky thanks to an own goal. They did get a goal back straight after, so it did leave it a little bit nervy, but Dallas got the opener, and yeah, fortunately, it was another win against another rival, which was very pleasing indeed. And don't forget, we actually got beat 6-4 by them earlier on in the season, so it was nice to get one over on them at home. Then we had an away game against Sheffield United, who were, I think, 21st at the time. They were 24th in the form table, so I was very confident in beating these, and we did just that, thanks to a new player, you'll see him shortly, and Stuart Dallas getting goals, wrapping it up with about 15 minutes or so to go. Lasogga played terribly, and there's another player you'll see there shortly as well. Then we had a home game this time against Bristol City, and they run us, well, they were putting us to the sword. We were 2-0 down, and 4 minutes before half-time, Samu Say's got to pull one back just to make it a little bit nervous for them. Then the new signing, Lewis Morgan, got a goal to equalise, and then 2 late goals, one from Calvin Phillips, and then Alioski rounding it off in the 90th plus 4 minutes to make it 4-2. And Bristol City, I think at the time, were third, so that was a very pleasing win as well. And then we, most recently, you've seen the first goal, which was a Scott Carson own goal. We beat Derby thanks to 2 own goals. That's all I can say, really. We didn't play that well. Wiedwald was calling action more often than what I would have liked him to, and Vidya got a goal late on just to make it a little bit nervy. I think they had a chance to hit the post afterwards, so we were very, very lucky in this game to come away with a victory. And then last time out against Brentford, we had a new goal scorer again. We had Lewis Morgan with his third goal since coming in, Ronaldo Vieira chipping in with his first goal of the season, I believe it was anyway, and Hicham Kalua getting his first goal from the penalty spot before Lassie Vibe got a goal with 7 minutes to play, just a consolation. So very pleasing indeed with that, and I think you got the man of the match with the Kalua as well. And yeah, it's been very pleasing, and as a result, after all that, we are in third. If you remember how bad we were down like 20th at one point, and we've just absolutely just gone flying, and we're actually 1 point off automatic promotion here. I think Middlesbrough, forget about them. Even though there's 12 games to play, I think they're home and dry basically. But Preston are definitely within touching distance. Their form is as good as ours, and yeah, it's shaping up to be, very interesting. We're actually in positive goal difference as well. I can't believe the rise of it. And like I say, it's thanks to FM Live again, Troy, with his tactics video. I can't say fair enough. Go watch it. Watch your tactics. Put it on full match and see where you're going wrong. It's what I've done. I noticed what I would do. Do little tweaks here and there. 3 games I did it over, and it's proven to be really successful. I've still got an external highlights, but yeah, it's been very pleasing to say the least. So moving on to transfers, and here they are. Basically, what I've done here, a little tip for you. I don't know if you're aware of this. Any new players probably aren't. These guys were out of contract in the summer, so I've signed them permanently. And I just remember a little, I think it was FM18 I remember this from. I thought, I'll try and see if I can buy them now, because I wanted them for now. I needed players now. I needed a left midfielder more than anything. And I sent Grote out on loan. I'll get on to all the other players that have gone out on loan. But Lewis Morgan, here he is. He doesn't look all that. He's 21 years old, but he's a left midfielder, a winger as well. And he's got a little bit of pace about him. He's decent at dribbling, and he can cross the ball fairly well. And off the ball is pretty damn good as well, if you ask me. And yeah, I just thought he's a good option. He's not quite at the standard of Alioski, probably won't be, but he's a good option. And so far, he's done really well. He's got decent finishing as well, 13, first touch 13. So, I like to say, he's scored 3 goals. I think he's got 2 assists as well. He's played about 8 games, something like that. I'm not entirely sure exactly how many games it is, but yeah. And the same sort of thing happened with Kalua, because, in fact, just going back to Morgan, I tried to buy him, and I thought, I'll see if I can just buy him on cheap. And they were asking for like 1.2 million. I thought, nah, I'll just sign him and see if he comes at the end of the season, if we're in Premier League, because it's looking like we're doing alright at the minute, aren't we? There's every possibility that we could get there. And yeah, I just thought, sorry, I'll sign him and see if I can just buy him. Buy him now. And 67 grand was all they wanted, so I just snapped my hand off, or whatever that saying is. And then a similar sort of situation with Hicham Kalua. He was out of contract in the summer as well. He was still valued at about, I think he was valued at, around 1.5 million. So I signed him. This is him. Of course, you can see me here. He's not the quickest, and I've got him to play up front as an advanced forward, even though he's not that quick. But his finishing stood out with 17, off the ball 40. He had a lot of high numbers in it, double figures, and I didn't see past that really. Like his composure on the 11. But he can play on the left-hand side as an inside forward, but we're not using inside forwards at the moment. Maybe in the future. As a winger, he's not all that, and he's not the quickest for being on the wing. But he's a flair player. He can dribble to some degree, decent first touch, and he can take penalties as well, which is why he got that penalty in the last game against Brentford. But yeah, Hicham Kalua, like I say, valued at 1.5 million, managed to pick him up for 425 grand. I was very pleased with that. Out, we've had Jack McKay go out on loan, which happened earlier in the season. Hugo Diaz has gone to Eastleigh for 23.5k. He was never going to get a game for us. You can see him there. Bit of pace, decent marking. everything, like all the main ones are there, but it's just everything else. He was never really going to get a look in. Clark Udor has gone on a free to Halifax. He had just offered nothing. I thought, well, get him off the wage bill. Why not? Paudie O'Connor's gone out on loan to Bray Wanderers in, I believe that's Ireland. I'm guessing it is anyway. Jack McKay's gone to Waterford. Similar sort of situation. I'm guessing they're like a Irish team or something like that. I could be wrong. Could be Scottish. And then J. Roy Groat has stayed in the Championship with Burton Albion, which I thought was a decent chance for him, because I had other teams from lower divisions. And I thought, nah, I'll keep hold of him because he'll get a couple of games here and there. And he's ended up they said viable first time. Get my words out. Viable first team player for us. So I thought, well, if he's going to play, fair dues, and they're paying all of his wages as well. So I couldn't be more pleased. And then FC Halifax came in just like they did for Clark Udor, and did the same with Bryce Hosanna. He did improve quite a bit, in the month prior, but he's never going to get anywhere near the first team. So that is fantastic. So moving on to today's opponents, who are table toppers Middlesbrough, and of course it is former manager syndrome here, Gary Monk. You can see him there, very good coach, tactical knowledge only 12, but decent man management and motivating to boot. So he is, he's going to be up for the challenge in a bit, basically. That's what we're going to say. Ben Gibson is the key man. Can't really see anything here, but you can see that he's got good tackling, at least very good marking, and yeah, everything else stands out. Maybe not the quickest, maybe that's something we can exploit, but yeah, that's who we're up against today. Let's have a look at today's lineup. So this is going to be today's lineup. One major talking point. First major injury. 7 to 9 months for Felix the Cat, who's been playing really well, to be fair to him. I mean, look at him, 7.24 rating in the last 5 games. He's pulled it over 7. And yeah, he's been, like I said, playing very, very well. And unfortunately, he's out for 7 to 9 months. So I'm not going to see him until at least, probably, October time, I guess. Maybe afterwards. But yeah, it's a shame, because it means we've only got Andy Lonergan in goal. We have got Bailey Peacock-Farrell, but he's not going to be on the bench at the moment anyway. He'll only get called into action once, say Andy Lonergan gets injured. Now, Andy Lonergan's decent. He's got decent handling, one-on-ones and reflexes, which is key attributes, but he's not the best aerial reach, command and communication, which affects his ability at corners. So I'm not holding out much hope that he's going to be the answer. Positioning could be better as well, but jumping reach is decent, and strength, again, it's lacking a little bit, mainly because of his age, which I think is a bit odd sometimes, because I think keepers could probably play at the highest level, as proven by other goalkeepers, up to the later 30s at least. But anyway, we're going to get into this game. Hopefully we're going to kick some ass. Who knows? I mentioned earlier about them being home and dry. If we win this game, we are 8 points, I believe, off them, and who knows what can happen there. But I'm optimistic, let's just say that. Right, so here are the lineups. Worth noting that we actually got beat 3-0 at home when we were playing shocking. Hopefully, we can do something about it this time. We've obviously got Johnny Howson, former player, against us as well, so it's going to be interesting. Britos Bolonga is the top scorer at the moment, but we have got Kamaru, who was our top scorer. Hopefully, he's going to show him how it's done. But I do need to say that we owe him, and not many people have reacted, which is a bit of a shame. I'm not going to lie, but let's just select all these and get them G'd up somehow. Passionately, please. A little bit of reaction. 3 players. We're in the tunnel. I hate these tunnel questions, but anyway. I'm hoping to at least match them. I'd take a point, if I'm being completely honest, away from home against top of the league. They did get beat, believe it or not. I know we got beat by Cardiff 6-4. They also beat Middlesbrough 6-4 as well. And when we played Cardiff, they got Nigel Pearson as manager first game, and we beat them 2-1 or whatever score it was, 3-1, and then he went, I think we actually beat them 2-0 actually, I can't remember exactly. But anyway, they've won every game since, so they could be on a bit of a run as well, and they included beating Middlesbrough as well. But here's Alioski, can he cross it in? He can. Randolph has spilled it, but unfortunately he's picked up the loose ball. Good bright start. Oh, Gibson, they're playing around a little bit at the back, a little bit dangerous in my opinion. Towards Ayling. Ayling does win the head and finds Phillips in the middle of the pack. Sprays it wide to Alioski. That's some of the decent play we've seen. Some nice sprayed balls as the familiarity. He's got higher roof and a shooting chance. Can he shoot? He can. Randolph with an impossible save. Diving that way, catching it that way with his hand. Well, not catching it, but palming it off. Yeah, one thing I have been doing as well is at the moment I don't have pass into space. If I find that we're not creating many chances, I put pass into space, and it does seem to, more often than not, it's pay dividends. Let's just say that. House lose that to Phillips and Seabiscuit. Finds it okay now. I'm going to say the Leeds Academy products. There's Alioski. There's a field. Roof is there. It's Pinball Wizard, and there's a shot as well that's a bit like Pinball Wizard. I don't even know exactly what was happening there, but never mind. Now it's Seabiscuit on the right hand side. Got a little bit of space and tries to find tyres and does that with great plum as well. Roof hits one from distance. Have a lot of that, unfortunately. I keep thinking of knocking, like, shoot less, but if you don't shoot, if you don't buy a ticket, as I say, you don't win the raffle. Ball size, finds Phillips, his hit son, he does Randolph with an impossible save and an even more impossible dive from an impossible angle starting position afterwards. And it's cleared away is the corner. It looks like Seabiscuit can't be asked because Asombalonga was like 1% chance of getting there before him, but never mind. Right, Ayling has a throw deep in the Middlesbrough half. Seabiscuit gets tackled by Howson and can be cleared away. Or pass short, should I say, to Chung Yong Lee. Asombalonga is on the chase now. He's wide left hand side. Up against Janssen, cuts in field, dives over two people. Braithwaite, shooting position. He's put it over the bar. Bit of a let off for us. First chance of the game for them, and we've got another highlight this time. Alien throws to Saeed, plays it in field. Roof should get the loose ball. Looking for runners. He's got Borthwick Jackson if he wants him, or he's going to go himself. He knows he's going to get tackled by Christie. Borthwick Jackson crosses towards Seabiscuit, head away by Gibson, and now Braithwaite has it. Back it goes to Randolph. Clears it long down for towards Asombalonga. He's up against Janssen. Should not be winning that and doesn't. And then it's Chung Lee. Howson with a long ball over the top for Braithwaite. He's in a crossing position. He could go himself. It's a great save from Lonergan. A bit of a let-off, really. First real opportunity for Middlesbrough, in my opinion. Right, Randolph has a goal kick. They're just starting to get into this game now, our Middlesbrough. It's 50-50 with regards to possession. Great challenge from Phillips. Looks a little bit too-footed, but we don't care because it's Phillips and that's what he does. Fabio wins the tackle, and now it's Braithwaite once again. Seems like he's a bit of a thorn in our side. And so is Asombalonga. He finds Marega. He's unopposed, really. It's a terrible, terrible effort, but we don't care because it's 0-0. Half an hour in, and we've got another highlight. Gibson, short ball as well, and Roof is closing him down well, to be fair, rushing the clearances, and Phillips has it as a result of it, but he's giving it away to Ledbetter. Now Asombalonga's got a chase with Janssen. There's 1-on-1 with the keeper. He puts it wide. Let off once again for Leeds. That's two clear-cut opportunities they've had. Right, it's a highlight just before half-time. It's the last one. Surprisingly, after an action-packed first half, first half hour, should I say, Lonergan's going to make an awesome save from Asombalonga. Right, so half-time is with us. I've actually changed it to pass into space just to see what happens. But we haven't really had the reaction I wanted, really. So, but I'm going to say unlucky, boys. A little bit less than what I was hoping for, I'll be honest with you. But yeah, let's just fill these gaps and hopefully get a response from a bit of assertive faith. And yeah, decent reaction, not too bad. Let's start the second half. Let's hopefully, try and get at them again, like we did in the first 15-20 minutes of the first half. Oh, and one more thing I've just realised as well, because the substitution has just been made, as they're going to nearly score. Are they going to score? Seabiscuit is on. Ryan Sessegnon opted to go to Middlesbrough because he was a glory-hunting chomp who was obviously thinking, yeah, it's Middlesbrough, we're going into the Premier League. So yeah, he did basically, tried to do a Ross McCormack, but here's Asombalonga, plays it over the bar via Andy Logan's touch, and yeah, fortunately, it's a corner. But yeah, you will be seeing the new boys shortly, probably in the next five minutes or so, as Howson floats from back in and Lonergan catches the ball. I'm hoping that the new guys are going to make a bit of an impact, but still got another highlight to come yet. If they score here, I'll probably make the change, but we'll have to wait and see. Borthwick Jackson heads down to Alioski, who's hardly had a touch this game, but Roof has been played in behind by him. Cuts in field, hit a shot, mate. And he does, but it's terrible. It's woeful and it's wide. Right, last highlight before I make a change. Seabiscuit is on it and plays it towards Roof. Roof's got an overlapping run, but he gives it away, sort of. It's finally with Saeed. Seabiscuit there, crossing position, goes himself, the greedy bastard. Alioski, I think they've hit the bar twice, haven't they? Shocking. Right, it's time to make a change. Roof is not playing that well, neither is Seabiscuit. And Alioski's done alright. I played him on the right hand side a couple of times. It does mean that Morgan can come on, and I'm also going to bring on Kalua for Roof, because Roof hasn't been playing that well. Let's give him a little bit of faith and hopefully get a bit of a response. But Morgan has been an absolute revelation since coming in. I'm hoping he's going to show it on camera now. The two new boys coming on at the same time. No one else is playing that bad, really, to be fair. That just the two worst players I've taken off there. And hopefully we can get a response from the guys that have come on. But here come Middlesbrough once again. Sessignon is not going to get there first, but Gibson is in terms of a defensive manoeuvre. Here comes Sessignon on the left-hand side. He's in a crossing position if he can get by. He doesn't even need to because he's going to score. Well, he's not going to score. Marega's going to score following the cross because he manages to sneak it through Ayling. I'm going to say that it went through him. Let's have a look here. Plays it wide to Sessignon at the far side. Ayling, just put a challenge in, mate. Don't let him cross it. No, he just peeled off his man as well, did Marega. Bit of a shame. Let's give him a bit of encouragement. I do find that shouts do seem to make a difference for some reason. I'm not entirely sure if it's true or not, but I would imagine they will do because otherwise why are they in the game? Corner. Phillips plays it in. It's the worst corner of all time, and Ayala can just casually jog away and then hoof it long straight back to us, to Borthwick Jackson, who's going to kick it back to Christie. Under no pressure whatsoever. What a guy. Now it's Marega. Plays it over the top for a Sombalonga to chase. He's not going to beat Pennington, who's been doing alright recently, to be fair, as Pennington. Phillips finds Alioski. Plays it to Kalua. He finds Morgan. Morgan in a crossing position. He's got a few bodies in the box. Can he whip it in? He can casually jog and then get tackled like a top guy. And he finds Phillips. Phillips heads down to Saiz! Phillips heads down to Saiz! What a goal into the top right corner. It's 1-1. And all of a sudden we're back in this game. Can we go on? Push on for the winner. Let's give it a little bit more encouragement. Totally encouragement works. Morgan got it here. Just started casually jogging because he couldn't be arsed. The challenge came in. It came off the trailing leg, as it were. Then chipped it across for Phillips and nodded it down for Saiz on the volley. What a finish that is. Tikaboo, son. Tikaboo. How is he not falling over there? He's running like that. How? Woodburn. Ben Woodburn is at Middlesbrough as well. And they've hit the bar. Morgan can head it away. Well, clear it away, but it chooses not to. And the highlight ends. Right, final change is going to see. It's going to see Dallas coming for Alioski, who's not played the best, to be fair. And yeah, it's giving a little bit of. You might be saying. Give a bit of faith, but you might be saying, what are you doing, G? You're joining against top at league. Let's go for it. Let's get a fresh winger on. Fabio plays it back to Randolph, who can clear it to Sambalonga. He's got a little bit more space than what I would have liked him to have. But Hissesina plays it in field to Chung Yong Lee. Now Sambalonga. What a moment to keep it. Lonergan with a big, powerful arm to the left to keep it out. What a guy. Chung Yong Lee with a corner. It's headed back out to Chung Yong Lee. Phillips heads away this time, and now there's a break. Kalua, it's got 2 against 1. Oh, that is a dreadful pass. Kalua, though, has got it now. Gets mauled to the ground by Ayala, and now it's Marega charging down the right-hand side. He's got Pennington for company. He chooses to go for a bit of a let-off. Good for Sambalonga, but Woodburn hit the loose ball. Now it's Ayling again now. Saiz feeds it through for Dallas. He's not the quickest player, but he's got a decent ball and can cross in. It's headed away by Gibson. Ayling plays it back in. Here comes to Morgan at the back post. It's there. It's 2-1. I told you he can make an impact. Lewis Morgan kind of turned 13 again for the second time in probably 2 videos. I can't remember when the last time it happened, but I know it happened recently. But yeah, Dallas floated it in. It was cleared away, not headed away by Gibson. Ayling brought it down, played it in early towards the back post. Morgan was there. Keeper's had a bit of a mare, but it was a powerful effort at the near post. 2-1 leads. Cheeky can't concentrate that he can no longer do. There we go. And Neil Kip's creative. Right, it's 4 minutes of added time, but we've got another highlight. Now, this is one thing we have been doing a lot of. We've been stuttering like a motherfucker, apparently. But we've also been conceding goals after we've scored. Like, we've just taken his foot off the gas for a split second. Even though I've said, don't get complacent. Or, well, maybe not that. They concentrate, shout. But anyway, Kalua nods it down to Morgan. It's a good header as well. Morgan now crossing position. He does cross it in. And it's a corner because Randolph morphs behind the line. A bit like the Scott Carson own goal. Dallas with a corner. Whips it in. It's headed away by Christie. Game's not over just yet. Morgan plays in Dallas. Heads it down for Saiz. What the hell is that pass? Right, we've still got 2.5 minutes to go. Randolph with the long kick towards Marega, who wins the header as well. Sambalonga tries to find Lee. Lee's in 1-on-1 with the keeper. I want to go with another strong arm. Janssen absolutely destroys Lee as well and comes away with the ball. and then plays it shot to Ayling. What a guy, what a man. Magic hat. Dalaso finds Saiz. Is this a counter? Counter to the counter, if you like. Kalua plays it towards Morgan. Morgan, can he whip it in? He's kept it in, but only just for the purposes of Christie. And now Marega. It's end-to-end as this game now. Asombalonga. He needs help. He has got a few bodies coming in. One of them is Forshaw has scored. And what have I just said? We score goals and then we concede straight after. And it's happened so many times in all these games. The games where I've drawn, this is exactly what's happened. Score goals and then conceded straight after. Maybe I should have dropped someone into defensive midfield, but I've used all my subs. But yeah, Lonergan, no chance there. No keeper would have saved that one. Even game. On reflection, maybe a fair result. This would be very harsh if they score here. Forshaw crosses in, it's wide. Should be a goal kick, it is. That will be game over. I said at the beginning of the game I would take a draw. That's exactly what we've got. For me, it's been a very entertaining game. Hopefully you guys have agreed as well. And I'm going to tell them that I'm happy. Everyone thought we'd get beaten. We didn't. We showed them who's boss for large spells of the game. And we've just got a small matter of Wolves next, so that's going to be interesting as well. But moving on to the next live com, who will we be facing? There's not that many games left to go. We've already done Sunderland, I believe. We owe Preston. We got beat 5-1 beginning of the season. There it is in all its glory. So I think, and because they're second at the minute, I think we're going to come back for Preston. So yeah, that is the game we're going to come back for. It's probably going to be the penultimate episode of this series. And again, obviously, don't forget to let us know what you think in the comments below. I'm on about streaming it afterwards on a set day. If it's something that you think I should do, or should I just leave it there, basically. Leave it at the end of this season. The idea is get promoted this season. That was the idea. We're on course, sort of. We're still third. If you look at the championship table. Yeah, we are, well, Wolves have got a game in hand, of course, and so have Bristol City. But if they win them, if they both win their game, we're still going to be ahead of them by a point. Preston do, of course, have a game in hand, and obviously a better goal difference as well. But we're still unbeaten. We've just played top of the league, and we're still unbeaten in the league. Big test coming up with Wolves, because obviously they're fourth. They've faltered a little bit recently. But yeah, hopefully you can join us for the Preston game at Deepdale. So hopefully you've enjoyed this video. If you have, why not go ahead and press that like button? Honestly, it really does help if you do press that like button. It helps it to get seen in the the columns of the suggested things and things like that. I'll be greatly appreciated. Obviously as well, the more you watch it, obviously the better it is. But obviously you're only going to do that if you enjoy it. But hopefully you guys do. And if you're new to the channel, please go ahead and subscribe. It would be greatly appreciated. We're on the road to 1K. That's what we're on now. We've got past 900 yesterday, which is fantastic. So hopefully we can move on to that next goal, the elusive 1,000 subs. That'd be absolutely fantastic if we can hit it before the new year. I'll be absolutely buzzing my tits off. But yeah, hope you can join us for the next one against Preston at Deepdale. And until then, I'll see you then. Bye bye.